Gotta put some government juice in it. We're saving the world, one plastic jug and one cardboard box at a time. Beep, 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 beep. I cranked her up at 8:30 this morning. So after we had it serviced and everything. Cranked her up at 8:30 to go to the field. And, you know, y'all heard that beep, beep, beep. Well, it is now 4:30 and we are going to work. So they're going to have to work with me on the irons on this thing. Tech had to come out here. It was not an actual death failure. It was I had to run an update on it. It decided it needed an update, and I had to put an update on it. It's running at the moment. We'll see what happens. Dangest thing I've ever seen. Hey, Bob thought he had it running, and he got all that the depth situation figured out, and it made him recalibrate all the hydraulics on it. Y'all see me reach over and hit that button. I've been putting my tracks at slow speed when I turn, and that makes it turn faster. If you try to turn with it in rabbit mode, it wants to turn slow. But we're gonna see how this thing runs with an update on it.
I'll give you a little before snippet here of what it looks like before, and then when we get done here I'll show you a little bit of the afterwards. I think we're going to gain at least 15 foot, if not more. I wish we had a bigger track hoe to take down some of them big trees, but better than nothing. I promised y'all an after look. There it is. And I was right. The box plate's about 14 foot, and I bet that's about what we gained. So, like I said, I wish we could take down them remaining trees there, but they're pretty good size. So maybe next year or something we can get them down. But anyways, got a telephone call from somebody in Canada. So, all right.
sometimes on these projects, you just got to scratch your head and wonder, what were they thinking? Somebody has dug just a random hole here for some reason. Because when I get back from lunch, I'm just taking little trees off and scrape all that junk off the top of it and get down to good clean dirt. We may try to put some dirt in that hole, or we may just leave it open for now and fill it up this fall. I don't know, but the water's going to the creek now. Alright folks, back on another job here. The Trenton Industrial Park. Back behind the YMCA. This is one of the first farms I ever rented. I think been working it 11 years now. 2013 was the first year I worked it. And this old farm has come a long way since the first year I worked it. First couple of years I worked it, part of it wasn't nothing but a swamp. This farm right here was alright, but it's kind of bad unlevel. And then had a terrible Bermuda grass problem where it'd been in grass for so long. And I brought a breaking plow over here and broke that Bermuda grass under. And this old farm come alive after I run that old breaking plow over it. That's the best thing I ever done for it. Man, it started making a crop. Got some new pasture ground this coming year that we're gonna break. So I'm gonna be breaking about 60 acres this year, 40 on one farm and 20 on another. Probably wouldn't break it, but there's a bunch of little old sapling trees and stuff and some chunks we're trying to get buried, so I figured that was the best approach. It used to be like that right there is like a hole. It's either I ain't got out and just fully inspected it, but it's either the old basement of a house or an old hand dug well or something. I put a bunch of concrete in it, or there was already concrete, but I took that concrete out and pushed it to the bottom and been tracking across it, filling it up, pulling dirt in it, and then tracking back and forth across it. That's where I kind of sunk down a minute ago. Maybe I'll get it packed in there good and tight. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, been having to spray around that. It should make life a lot easier spraying and planting now. A lot of this cleaning up I'm doing has got more to do with the spraying than it does trying to gain extra ground, just trying to make this stuff easier to spray. Gonna have 400 acres of corn this year. About 670 acres of beans, something like that. So it's definitely going to be a busy year, like we needed to be any busier. Which I always want to grow, but I kind of got to a point I'm kind of happy right now. We get any bigger, we're going to have to look about updating the planters, going to a bigger planter. And I really don't want to build another planter. And I don't want to pay what it would cost to set one up the way I want to set it up. There is absolutely nowhere good in this cab to clamp my camera. Robert mentioned maybe buying an 8-row splitter planter to plant beans with, and then if we get behind, we can run 2 planters planting corn. But we gotta see how this year pans out with commodity prices like they are. I just really ain't interested in spending no whole lot of money. You gotta be on your toes on this farm. I'll show it to you when I swing around, but over along the fence line, there's a water line and a gas line. Ain't you swinging? A water line and a gas line over on the left-hand side of the machine, and then since that fell out, we'll just stick that there and we'll see if we can't stack a little more for this trip. And then there's an electric line right on the other side of where I'm working here. So I have really got to watch where I fall stuff and be on my toes in general. That was one of the first things I ever learned with a track hoe, was not only you gotta be cautious of what's around you, but also above you, because I took down a line for a security light. As we was pulling the track hoe around, kind of heard a popping noise, and when I took off to the field, the truck was kind of clutch on it, wasn't acting exactly right. And had this truck years ago. I didn't own it at the time, but that was back when I bought this off the farmer I used to work for, and the engine bracket over here, the bolts had broke years ago, and it was acting exactly the same as it did then. So I come over here, and sure enough, them 2 bottom bolts was loose. We're going to tighten the bejesus out of them. We're going to put Loctite on them, and hopefully that's going to fix our issue with the clutch on this truck. So, all right, Robert's going to give me a bolt. He going to...
That's the old bolt.
Yeah, don't put the old bolt in there. He gonna put a stream of Loctite on it. If a dab will do you a whole lot, will do a lot of good. I put it on about that from, yeah. We're hoping we ain't got to run to Trenton and get some Loctite, which we probably will. Oh yeah, so good, so good. And I'm left-handed, so I'm gonna have to swap hands. Brand new grade 8 bolt, 3/4 bolt, 2.5 inches long. We're gonna screw that in there, and then we're gonna put this long pull bar on it. And surely between Loctite, a long pull bar, and all that, we can get this puppy fixed. Get the good old Harbor Freight ratchet down in here. Get the line out of the way. I hope the threads ain't stripped out. Oh, I hear stuff drawing up, guys. Well, it done something because it loosened that one up. It was bound up earlier, so. But y'all get the point. I'll bring you back when we go for a test drive and see if it acts right. Well, it's time to go for a test drive, see if we fixed it.
I wonder what you'd give
Up in there,